When we picture a male lion, we usually imagine the classic king of the beasts. We envision an untouchable ruler, draped in a majestic mane, surveying his kingdom and living a life of absolute luxury and power. But the biological reality is entirely different. A male lion enters the world completely blind, deaf, and entirely helpless. At birth, he is so tiny that even a passing meerkat could push him around. He also faces immediate daily threats. A mother lion must regularly leave the den to hunt with the pride. When she does, the cubs are left behind for hours at a time, making them easy targets for hyenas, leopards, and other opportunistic predators. Even inside the den, the first few weeks are a physical struggle. Walking is entirely out of the question. He spends his days crawling awkwardly in the dirt, stumbling around like an uncoordinated toddler as his limbs slowly figure out how to cooperate. Surviving this period requires a massive communal effort. Cubs don't just rely on their own mothers. They will eagerly nurse from any lactating lioness in the pride willing to tolerate them. A male lion does not begin his existence as a prince in a protected castle. He is highly vulnerable prey in a hostile environment, completely dependent on the females of the pride to survive his first year on Earth. By his second year, the dynamic shifts. The cub grows larger, his testosterone spikes, and his biological status within the family changes. He is no longer viewed as protected offspring. He is now a threat. To maintain their own dominance, the ruling leaders of the pride, his own father and uncles, turn on him. The young male is brutally evicted from the only home he has ever known and chased out into the open savanna. This marks the beginning of the Nomad years. Stripped of the pride's sophisticated hunting strategies, these teenagers are reduced to starving and scavenging. They survive by eating rodents, picking at abandoned carcasses, and constantly running away from hyenas. A solitary male rarely survives the savanna. To make it through the Nomad years, they have to team up, forming tight-knit alliances, or coalitions, usually alongside their brothers or cousins. The path to controlling a pride is forged through years of forced exile, poverty, and brutal gang-like alliances required just to make it to adulthood. Around age 5, these nomads reach full physical maturity. They are massive, hardened by years of starvation, and desperate to claim territory. They begin actively hunting for a pride to conquer. They look for a very specific target profile, a pride with highly skilled female hunters, but one currently led by aging, fatigued males who can be easily overpowered. When they finally strike, there are no peaceful transitions of power. The takeover is a scene of absolute violence. It is a terrifying clash that ends only in permanent exile or fights to the death. This animated chart shows a pride's genetic lineage following a successful takeover. The old bloodline ends abruptly when victorious males eliminate the existing cubs. This forces the lionesses back into their estrus cycle, allowing the new males to immediately breed. And the reward for this conquest? Total exhaustion. The new ruler cannot rest. He spends the remainder of his prime fighting off endless waves of new, younger nomad coalitions, desperate to do exactly what he just did. Ruling a pride is a state of perpetual warfare. It is a violently enforced, temporary monopoly over a bloodline, maintained entirely through physical exhaustion. By age 13, years of constant battles, deep wounds, and natural aging finally catch up. The male's physical strength begins to drain away. The math of the savanna is unforgiving. Eventually, a younger, stronger coalition arrives. They overpower the aging ruler and violently exile him from his own home. Stripped of his territory, the former leader faces a harsh reality. Having relied on lionesses to bring down large prey for years, he is now too old, injured, and too slow to catch his own meals. He is reduced to scavenging once again. As hunger weakens him further, animals he once swatted away with ease become serious threats. He finds himself fleeing from the very scavengers he used to dominate. Unable to hunt and lacking the protection of a pride, he will spend his final days entirely alone, eventually falling to starvation or opportunistic predators. Nature operates without a monarchy. A male lion's life is a brutal, beautiful, and strictly enforced cycle. It is a relentless relay race across the savannah, where the only actual prize is survival itself.